was that one for?
Satan.
So welcome to Garke Barke.
Good Lord. It's just as cool as I always imagined it would be.
We're talking about Justice League 2017. So that was a film that we all saw 3 years ago.
Yes.
It's kind of a film. It's like a Frankenstein.
It's a film.
It's a movie. It's a movie. So
it's a movie.
What
it's not bad.
So what we're trying to do now is we're going to try to recall exactly what happened in the film because I don't really remember. I think it would be fun to what?
Perhaps we should explain why we're trying to recall.
So yes, please explain.
Of course.
Explain to the
Recently, the Snyder Cut has been released all throughout the world to see the true beauty that this gem in the rough was supposed to be. And we're like, well, we don't even remember what it was too well. Like, I remember the story was about Superman and stuff, so let's try to recall, so that way we're ready for the Snyder Cut and all its glory.
Well, I guess everybody knows the backstory on that.
Basically, Zack Snyder dropped out of the film due to personal family
reasons.
You can look it up if you want to know exactly what happened. But
so then, what happened? Joss Whedon showed up.
Yeah, Joss Whedon showed up, tried to swoop in and fix the film, and he tried to turn it into Avengers. And it was basically two very juxtaposed visions, and it just didn't.
It's a classic.
You could definitely tell it was kind of like...
Well, I really like the director's cut of Watchmen.
A hard flex there with his collection. It's just a case of too many cooks in the kitchen, and unfortunately, as a director, more than one is too many.
I just realized I own nothing in this room.
You are nothing.
Not even himself.
You think that's bad? I own nothing in this house.
I had something. Well, you leave shit here all the time. You got at least one thing.
But it's my lunch bag right there.
Yeah, there we go. All right.
Oh yeah, okay.
Even he has something in his room.
Women that come here leave their underwear. I mean, that's all right.
Well, I'm probably mostly Brad's wife. Where did we start? I didn't remember. Was
a very bad CGI mouth.
Right, which everyone can remember because so Henry Cavill had a mustache. Yeah. So he had a mustache for Mission Impossible, which is a much better film. Mission Impossible 6?
Yeah, I didn't notice it.
Or 10 or something like that. And he was on that's what it was. It was a cell phone video, and it was like, what does it mean to be super or something?
Yeah, what's it mean to be a hero?
Is that what it was?
Something like that,
Which I think shoehorned in.
Mind you, we are pulling this all out of memory. We haven't seen the movie in like 3 years.
And we have not seen the Snyder Cut yet.
Yeah, no.
We want to. That will be in the next episode.
Absolutely.
This is us pulling as much of this film out of the backlots of our minds as we possibly can.
I remember everybody at a funeral. Was that the opening scene?
Was there a funeral?
Like the rain and Batman's looking at the grave because he feels bad?
No. That was the end of Batman vs. Superman.
Okay, but I thought it picked up right from that point.
Which was terrible. Batman Superman was pretty terrible.
It was not good.
There was... Okay, I'm interested in rewatching it simply because... Look, I respect Zack Snyder as a filmmaker making his movies. Like, The Watchmen is great. 300 is great. And come on, you like those.
Zack Snyder is a guy who is really good at making exactly one type of movie.
Zack Snyder's really good at making a good movie out of something that is already good.
Well, he needs to stop being a director and he needs to
300 was a great story. Watchmen was already a great story. He just took that incident and made it an action movie.
He is a master of aesthetics and mood. Not so much in, like, directing dialogue and everything.
Well, he's not good at storytelling.
No.
He's good at...
Well, that's why he makes stories that already exist.
Being in... Well, yeah.
That's a good point,
yeah. But he just sees the images.
Well, yeah, he's making it better by making an action movie, like I said.
You're right, he's good at art. Like, he should be the art director or the visual effects director, because they are visually great.
Yeah, Watchmen has some fantastic scenes with the comedian coming out.
Right, the problem is when you look at like something like Watchmen, which is all dark and depressing and, you know, atomic war looming, and then you go to Batman and all that, and Superman is supposed to be a little lighter.
Superman's supposed to be the White Knight. Like, it's impossible to make a not slightly corny Superman and have it work. Like, you try and do dark and broody for Superman, it's Superman.
I don't always agree with that. There's been several Superman media that has actually been pretty dark.
Yes, but I'm saying to make a full movie.
Well, I'm not saying you have to make him, bubbly,
And this is actually good here.
Homegrown
There's the two different
Bob
opinions as to what a Superman film should be.
Yeah.
That's what Justice League ended up being because you have
that's actually
because you have
exactly,
Joss Whedon going, hey, but he's the truth and justice. And actually, I remember at the end,
American Way.
Did he say that at the end? Truth and justice and the American way.
He doesn't say the American Way because they changed it because the comics weren't okay with just saying the American Way anymore. Something to do with the push of communism.
I got nothing wrong with
Comics
pushing the
won
American
that
way.
one.
What's wrong with that?
I mean, I don't either. I'm an American. Pay me, government.
You could definitely tell it was off to a rocky start. It's basically Batman building a club, the movie.
Yeah.
What was the purple tree at the end?
That was
he terraforming or something?
it was like the corruption caused by...
No, seriously, what was that?
It was caused by Steppenwolf. He was like creating it.
Yeah.
It was from that box.
It was from the
whatever it was
convergence
called.
of the mother boxes.
Yeah.
Mother boxes, yeah.
Well, here, you
That's right.
know more about Steppenwolf. Why don't you talk about that for a second? So, like...
Steppenwolf being one of the agents of
greatest
Darkseid.
fans of the 80s.
So he's supposed to be the main
70s,
villain in
80s.
Justice League, which he was never introduced in any other DC film.
That's,
right?
I think, the biggest flaw. Thanos had this shadowy looming in the background. Steppenwolf never really got that point. Steppenwolf is extremely powerful, being able to take on multiple superheroes by himself. He is extremely talented in martial combat and overwhelmingly strong. He can beat and kill Superman and Wonder Woman. The guy is a juggernaut, and just unfortunately we never got to see that. We pointed this out before, in the Marvel movie, when Thanos first makes his appearance on the ship Thor and the Hulk are on, Hulk breaks loose, starts beating the crap out of Thanos, and all of Thanos' minions go to help, and they're like, no, just let him have his fun. And then Thanos, in a quick and orderly fashion, beats the Hulk. It's not a drawn-out fight. It's not a long knuckle brawl. It's military precision. He just destroys the Hulk, and it's done.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't even a thought.
Right. And that's a great way to introduce how powerful he is.
And that's what Steppenwolf needed. He needed that moment of him just being
Steppenwolf, he showed up. He would show up, and everybody was like, "Oh shit, it's Steppenwolf!" And there was like, "We're like, why?"
He didn't do anything.
Can I add one thing about Steppenwolf though? As a big fan of classic rock, like I am, anybody who's like an older millennial or like Gen X is, I can imagine anytime they say his name, they're just like, "Wait, the band?"
I mean,
It took me out of the movie completely. I think they should have used a different villain. I understand why they used him, but just, I don't know. For me, it's a stupid thing.
They have Darkseid in the Snyder
You
cut
need
now,
to use Steppenwolf.
which
He's
made
a powerful
sense.
entity. Like, I understand you might mistake him for the band, but if you're in the circles when you're
Darkseid
actually
came
reading
first anyway.
when you're reading the comics,
That's interesting.
you know of Steppenwolf.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's all. I mean, like,
Surrounded by movies and Star Wars, Star Wars. I'm the nerd.
Just bashed my teeth.
You got it fixed. Don't ruin it now.
I know, right? This isn't horrible either.
That's what I told you.
Yeah.
So you got Steppenwolf, and one of his big problems is it was once again a flashback retelling of his tale where Wonder Woman's like, oh, we know of Steppenwolf, our history reminds us of it, and then you get this cutscene to the past of Steppenwolf beating all the Amazons, all the...
Was it the lantern there, or lanterns? Like
there was Lantern Corps there.
It was like the Greek gods were
the
there.
The Greek gods were on the battlefield, and that's the thing. Steppenwolf went toe-to-toe with Greek gods, with the Amazonians, with the people from the... I can't think of underwater. Aquaman's people.
The Atlanteans.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, they were there too.
He goes toe-to-toe with all these people, and his army helps, and you really don't get a sense of that overwhelming power.
He's just he looks like a video game character like this, and then he has a big axe.
He just looks like a grumpy old man wearing like a Viking helmet.
That's the other thing.
It's...
That was the other thing I was bothered with. His appearance, he looks like big, angry hobgoblin. And
it's pretty bad.
I don't like that look for him, but hey, one of the big problems I had, though, is, once again, he's going toe-to-toe with Greek gods, and Thanos had his army attack Wakanda, and you've got, I know I keep comparing the two, but hey, what do you expect?
Well, you kind of have to. I mean,
They're
Thanos
basically the same
came
character.
from dark
Well,
side anyway.
Well,
so.
kind of. Yeah.
But you've got the army of Thanos, right? And you've got that moment where the heroes are battling them and not doing well. His army is strong by itself.
Pause. Is Will still in frame? It just feels like the camera's centered.
No, I'm in frame.
You sure?
Like 90% sure I'm in frame. And sure, we have that scene of all the heroes fighting the monsters in that like tunnel, that vertical tube underneath the lake or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And
That
they're all
happened.
being a teamwork, but the real focus of that wasn't on the fight and how difficult it was, like in Marvel. Rather, it was like, "Hey, Flash, can you be the Flash yet? I'm gonna be Batman and be Dad Coach." And that was like, I get it. He's not like up to the snuff yet, but like he's also watching his teammates get the shit kicked out of them, and it's still not enough because he's scared.
I know.
Like he's faster than all of them by a easily 100%.
Well, they kind of made him afraid of like, ooh, I'm afraid of that.
Yeah, I do. I just run and push.
The whole movie is basically Batman brooding as Batman does, but also going like, man, I really wish we had Superman.
He's Batman's.
Oh yeah.
Man, I miss Superman.
He's Batman's
So
soccer
I guess we need to bring him
mom
back
the
to
whole time.
life, and then so they bring him back to life within like 10 minutes.
Yeah, they're gonna Frankenstein Superman.
He's all pissed off at first. That was actually the best scene.
That was the best part of the movie, especially Flash is like running
Well,
past him. He just does the.
we've jumped
That
ahead.
was awesome.
Because I don't remember anything.
That's
well,
literally it's just a
they're
blank
trying-
spot between there.
They're
and there.
trying. They know about the boxes. They're
Okay.
trying to find them.
Mother boxes
And
or something. Like that.
Steppenwolf keeps taking them from them before they can get them.
Oh yeah.
There's one in Atlantis. They have that underwater fight.
Yes, which that was pretty cool.
There's the one in where the Amazons are.
Themyscira.
Themyscira, that yeah. And the third one is
Is there 3 or 4?
Hidden by men. It was hidden by men.
it was just some like random place, wasn't it? It was like,
Is it in where Superman is buried?
No, it's not where Superman's buried, but it is hidden. It was hidden by men, and there was no trace of it. And I think Cyborg can find it because he was made from the mother boxes.
Doesn't he do something with them?
At the end,
Puts his hand
he
in
can
it,
communicate with them or
he
something like
communicates
that.
Where
because
is?
he's
I don't
part of
remember
it.
where it was.
well,
Who
that's
the hell knows?
way later
I haven't
on.
seen this film in over 3
Anyway,
years.
they
I
keep
don't
getting the crap kicked out of them, and they realize they can't take Steppenwolf. They're not powerful enough. They're not They don't what's the term when everyone comes together? They don't coalesce.
like as a team.
There's not enough cohesion.
They're
But there is that
cohesion.
one cringe line where, let's see, Jeremy Irons. I like his version of,
Alfred.
the Alfred. It's fine. It works in this universe. I still think Michael Caine is the best. But anyway, it's neither here nor there. And he was like,
I think
but
it
Master
is.
Bruce, this isn't something or other. It's the team. And I went, oh.
All the dialogue was cringy.
Well, I think a lot of it was rewritten too. I feel like
He pisses off Wonder Woman for whatever reason to get her to punch him.
He tries. No, he
Who
doesn't.
did?
He wasn't
Batman?
trying to piss her
Batman.
off. He was trying to push her to be the leader. She even says so.
Yeah.
Oh, and then he brings up Steve Rogers. Well, not Steve Rogers, but everybody does that. Steve.
Just because he does it, everybody does it.
Everybody does do that. The other Steve.
Never once.
Steve.
Chris
Who
Pine.
is it then?
Chris Pine.
Look at Chris Pine.
Who is it?
Chris Pine.
What's the name of the
He
character?
was Captain Kirk in the new movie.
Steve Rogers.
Well, I know it's not Steve Rogers. I've never made that mistake.
We're going with Steve Rogers until we can remember
What
the
an
name.
idiot.
Until we can remember
So
the name.
stupid.
World War II boy. Past memories of Wonder Woman make Wonder Woman angry. She punched Soupy. No, she doesn't punch, or not Superman.
punches
She doesn't-
Batman.
Does she punch him? I thought she just got
She
in the
throws
face.
him.
She throws something.
Something.
He goes back.
Bruises the shit out of his ribs or something like that.
No, that rib bruise was from Superman kicking him later.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
He kicked him
That
in the
was
car,
great.
and then Alfred calls him the big guns, which I'm just going to call this out right now. Batman's super intelligent. Why the fuck wasn't she there? Period. It's full stop. Bring Lois Lane. There is no reason not to. He even thought it was going to work. That's why he called it the big guns. Like, I understand you're trying to ease him back into, like, being alive, but why didn't you bring him something comfortable like, I don't know, his mom or Lois Lane, the person that loved him?
Because the movie had to happen, probably.
I get
I don't
it.
know. I don't even remember that.
But I would have preferred it if she,
I don't know why
she
Lois was even
she
in
was-
it.
I would have preferred it if she was coming and she just hadn't arrived yet, and that's what ends the fight, her arriving, not Batman being like, okay, bring her out now. Like she's some kind of dinosaur in a cage.
And then what did he do? Didn't he just fly away?
He takes her and they leave.
He does take her then.
Yes.
And they go to visit Martha.
And they go back to his farm, and they're in the cornfield, and they're talking, and he's, you won't let me live, you won't let me die, and then he takes her, leaves.
What are you doing? What are you doing to me?
But yeah, the Superman coming back, and just beat the piss out of everybody, and the Vig, two Doms wrestling for the top between him and Wonder Woman was fun. And then...
So they go into Steppenwolf, who's converging all the boxes, which will bring about the death of the world. As they converge the boxes, like you are... I don't know where you are. You talk about Doms and shit.
Apparently you remember this movie way more than I do.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I have a memory.
It was 3 years ago.
It's only 3 years ago.
Well, you liked it more than I did then.
I remember things I hate, too.
Anyway. Keeps coming over here.
So they go. Steppenwolf brings the boxes together, and he's trying to converge them because it will bring about. I believe. Don't quote me on this.
Is it the end of the world? Probably.
It will transform the world, and I believe it'll also open like a boom tube to Darkseid, because that's how Darkseid travels, through the boom tubes. But I don't remember.
Can you please explain what a boom tube is?
It's a rip in space and time that connects two locations.
So it's like a black hole.
It's extremely advanced technology. Kind of. It's like a warp. And it, like,
that was my nickname back in my stripping days, Boom Tube.
So, Darkseid uses that to release hellspawns and traverse the universe, so that way he has domination of multiple planets.
Is that really what they call them in the comics, Boom Tubes?
Yes.
I mean, but in the end, like, all I remember is
that's awesome.
From the film was I came out of the film and I was like, okay, Superman was killed.
So after Steppenwolf gets all the boxes and converges them, this large tree-like plant starts to terraform the Earth, which was one of the things Darkseid's about. He terraforms planets.
Yeah, to make it worthy of him or some...
Well, to show his power, his influence. So I believe it was going to send out a signal to call Darkseid or a boom tube. I don't know exactly. So, but then everyone arrives before the box can fully converge. And it's a two-part plan where one team is distracting the enemies, Mussig, Batman, and I believe Aquaman and Wonder Woman, where Superman and the Flash are getting people out. That's why Superman, Flash is pushing people in the car.
Having a race.
And then Superman just picks up a whole building and flies them away, and Flash is just like, aww.
It was a village, right?
Yeah, it was a village.
It was a village at the end.
And then, it was a small village.
Family that was trying to escape in the car, and they're racing the
building
shit with the wasp people. And
that's what it was.
The insectoid people, yep. And then the Cyborg was locating the boxes, because he could do that.
What are they, Dementors, or...
They're not Dementors.
Demons?
They're kind of like, oh, you're right, they are demons.
No, they're called demons something or other.
Cyber demons? Cyber demons.
No, that's Doom.
Oh. We're getting Doom in here, we're getting Harry Potter in here.
No.
Look it up real quick.
Looking it up.
They're fucking wasp people.
They're more than that.
Parademons?
Parademons.
I think they're actually parademons.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look it up anyway.
Parademons.
I'm curious.
Google, do the Google thing.
Look at that, it says wasp people.
Fuck off. Parademons are the fictional group of extraterrestrials appearing in American comic books published by DC Comics. They are monstrous shock troopers of Apocalypse, used by Darkseid to maintain order of a planet. First appearance was in The New Gods, issue 1, back in February-March of 1971.
Cool. So now we know.
The more you know. The less Brad does.
But that's the thing. That's the thing, though, is that we didn't know. None of that was explained either, I don't think.
They just showed up.
The Parademons are shock troopers, and to be fair, I remember in other renditions of when they come to the planet, there's scenes of people examining the bodies, like, what are these creatures? Yeah. I think Cyborg's dad, one of the leading people on this stuff, was actually examining them, and thus, that's why he has a mother box, and that's why his son gets into tragedy, because the Parademons come back for the mother box, and...
We didn't get a whole lot on that. I guess
we didn't.
I think in the Snyder Cut, you get a lot more of everybody.
I will say, I know a lot about DC.
I hope so.
I'm going to put that in quotes. I know a bit about DC, because if I say a lot, people are going to be like, no, you don't. Well, that being said, I think because I know what I do, this movie was better for me than you two, who are going in mostly blind. I know you're a huge Batman fan. I have I have read a lot of the comics. I've watched almost all the stuff across the board for all of them. I haven't just, I'm not just a Batman or Superman fan.
I'm just a big Batman fan. That's about all.
Yeah, so I think that's one of the reasons why you guys were had so much of a problem with it, because it skipped a lot of stuff.
I didn't hate it.
No, but you do kind of act like you do. They will attack you. That's why they don't attack anybody who's in charge.
Is that why?
Yeah, the Parademons
I honestly don't even remember.
They're minions of oppression, so Darkseid and all of Darkseid's generals don't fear them, so they will never attack them. Plus, there's also levels of control beyond that. Anyway, so that's why they attack Darkseid, Steppenwolf, who gets destroyed by them. I don't remember if he teleports away or he just gets killed.
I don't remember either.
I don't recall. I do remember that his axe does get broken, I believe.
All that was left was his helmet. I remember that much. I'm pretty sure the helmet was ding.
And everybody, I'm not even sure everybody had something to do. Like
in that final fight,
were they all given something to do?
So they were all combo fighting him at the end, but before that, they were all doing stuff around the room. Like Wonder Woman and I believe Aquaman were going toe to toe with Steppenwolf, while Batman and the Flash were holding off the Parademons, while Cyborg and Superman were disassembling the boxes.
That's basically it. Yeah.
Let's talk about Batman. Specifically,
the fact that he's branding people in this movie.
The DCEU.
That was in
the DC
same
Superman.
continuality,
like the DCEU version of Batman. So I'm not a huge fan of the Ben Affleck Batman.
See, I actually like the Ben Affleck Batman.
Like, I'm not a huge fan of it.
It was an interesting, different take on it.
I'm neither here nor there.
Yeah.
Really don't feel either way about it. Like, I'll take more Ben Affleck movies. Batfleck, fine with that. If we got a new actor, we got a new actor. I mean, I'm not.
But he shouldn't be killing people, right? Like,
no.
Because they straight up have him killing people. Worse, he has him branding people.
Yeah, which just leads him to get killed in prison.
Which is like...
And Batman wouldn't do something like that. That's like, I've injected them with lethal poison. I didn't kill the poison.
Well, that's even darker than the Dark Knight Returns Batman.
Yeah,
right. Even he didn't do that.
I can understand that they were like, okay, this is an older, grittier Batman that's fed up with everybody's shit, but they took it a bit far. Where they even say, like, the Bat brand, that is a death sentence in prison.
Yeah, so then Batman wouldn't do it. He's smart enough to know that.
Yeah.
Well, and so that's my issue is the character of Batman in this, not Ben Affleck. I think Ben Affleck was the best part.
Ben Affleck did no actor, I'll say, was bad.
Yeah, I don't even think there was, like, a bad Batman, necessarily.
Like, the writing bothered me, but none of the actors did the writing poorly.
I'm Batman.
Oh, Vrees?
You're right. Screw it. Bring Adam West back. Go back to scratch.
We'd need a shovel for that.
Hell yeah. Oh
my God! Even from the grave, you did better than most people would expect. I got a pinball machine at work. That's that one. It's the Adam West Batman. But 2/3 of the front's just Wonder Woman in a tight leather outfit.
You ever watch the old movie they made for Batman and Robin?
No.
From the TV show?
All I know is shark repellent.
They
and Egghead.
Shark repellent, and they go.
Oh, and Shame.
It had all
Shame.
It had all the
the whole Rogues Gallery. Well, not all of them didn't have. Didn't have Mr. Freeze.
Yeah. It had the big ones.
Had most of them, but yeah, they go and they're dehydrating the UN, turning them into dust.
Nice.
They just sweep all of the delegates into test tubes. Now we wait. Gotta rehydrate them.
Now we wait.
I mean, honestly,
we wait while they dehydrate.
Compared to some of the old comics,
Batman the movie.
Some of the old comics, that's some of the wacky stuff they did. Like, there was some crazy stuff back in the day. There was like copy raised. There's that dude who was standing in the museum of Justice League, got lightning struck every single statue of the Justice League, then him, and he became half Batman, half Superman in appearance, but he had the powers of all of the Justice League. And he terrorizes them.
This is in the comics?
Yes. It's a very old comic. But he terrorized them and he's like acting like he's the best of the best, and then his powers go away. And at the end they're just like, imagine what you could have done with all your power. And you wasted it.
So let's talk about the Flash. This is the Flash's first intro, right, into the DCU?
I mean, if you don't count animated films.
Yeah. Or was he
in a TV show.
Well, yeah, this isn't a part of the CW.
Right.
No, but it gets you an idea of what the Flash is capable of in terms of what he's got going on.
Yeah, who played him? I don't remember the name.
Ezra Miller.
Ezra Miller, yeah. So I thought he was good. Like, I thought it was...
He's alright.
He's fine. Once again, but no actor did poorly. It was The writing.
It was the writing. The writing and the direction was weird. It was, you could definitely tell somebody was trying to make a movie that didn't ultimately get made. Like somebody else, it was picking up a broken Lego statue.
It wasn't even
and putting it
fit.
together.
Like
Yeah.
I think they filmed all of it, or no, they didn't even film all of it. I think he came in and did reshoots. I think.
Yeah, it wasn't even.
Okay.
I think Whedon came in because he definitely reshot a whole bunch of new stuff.
I think The Flash was underwhelming, to say the least. I understand that they wanted to represent an earlier, more hesitant Flash who's not up to snuff to deal with global catastrophes of this scale. I get that. But in the same sense, he's still the Flash. He's still, like, a plucky, go-get-em fastest being in existence. And, I don't know. I wanted more slow-mo scenes, I guess, but rather more good slow-mo scenes, rather.
Was
Like,
that one he just kind of pushed,
the sword to Wonder Woman.
and that, yeah.
I don't think they also represented that he heals very quickly. Like, he can break a leg. And
I didn't
he'll
get
heal.
that at all.
Yeah, if he breaks a leg, he can heal it super fast. Like, he takes hits, but then he can heal a lot faster because of the Speed Force. There's so many things. Like, once again, he needs his own movie, which is one of the big problems that we talked about. They
nobody
each
got their
needed-
own movie. Like, even Batman didn't get his own movie to start out for.
Well, Batman and Superman got their own thing.
Well, Wonder Woman was the only
Yeah.
one that had a movie before.
Yeah,
this.
Wonder Woman had a movie.
Well, no, Superman did.
Yeah.
Man of Steel's actually okay. I like that.
Man of Steel's good.
There are parts that really bother me.
Yeah, but
Wonder
all in
Woman-
all, it was
All in all,
a decent
yes,
film.
it was
yeah.
a good-
Unless the Snyder Cut changes my mind, or I haven't seen Shazam, I haven't seen the Suicide Squad, I haven't seen...
Suicide Squad was alright.
I haven't seen Aquaman.
Underwhelming.
I've seen bits of Aquaman, it was really nice looking, but it was just being like spoon-fed to you. And now, here's what happened here! And this is when this happened. And it's like, oh... I mean, I don't know. Like, I have to watch it. Like,
Yeah,
maybe.
it's been too long for me.
But my point was that, yeah, so nobody got... they all... Like, Cyborg is brand new.
Well, that's the thing.
There's no movie.
In this movie, like, in this retelling of it, Cyborg doesn't even look the way Cyborg's supposed to look. He doesn't have his iconic look yet, which he gets at the end of the movie, which is one of my biggest problems.
Did he look different at the beginning?
Yeah, no, at the beginning of the whole movie, he's got, like, the Mother Box alien look to him. And then towards the end, when he gets actually at the after credits, I don't think it was the after credits, I think it was just like the montage of everybody after the events that occurred, you saw that he was controlling it to look like his traditional cyborg self. And I really felt, like, I know that was supposed to be kind of the hook of him being part of the team, but when he comes back and rejoins the team, that's when he should look like Cyborg that we know. Personally, I thought that was the point where he's, he comes into his own, and now he's Cyborg. Which, I don't know why they waited towards the end of the movie for that. Because after he rejoins the team, and he's just like, I can't do it, that's not my role. He comes back, and he's, like, pivotal for them succeeding. He understands the Mother Boxes. He knows where they are. He knows what to do. He gets Superman to pull the boxes apart. Like, he knows exactly what needs to happen. And that's why I really felt he should have just had the look. But once again, you guys don't know that he didn't have the look.
I didn't even know. I know he was in some street clothes.
I mean, if you look like that, you'd be in street clothes.
I mean, and that was about it. Well, I mean, like, I don't remember him looking differently than a cyborg.
Phone time.
But
Aquaman. How do we feel about Aquaman?
well, Jason Momoa was a good choice to play Aquaman.
Totally different direction from, like, the cartoons and the comics and stuff, but that's a good thing.
He didn't get a movie either, so this was his intro.
Yeah, he didn't get it till after the fact, right?
Yeah, 2018, like the next year.
But, like, Aquaman, it was always the running joke that Aquaman was kind of the weenie of the Justice League. I know that in the comics he's actually pretty cool, but it's always sort of been the running joke that he was kind of lame, and so they decided,
Make
okay,
him unlame.
we're gonna make him cool, and I think they succeeded. He was a fun character.
That's what he looked like.
Yeah, that's him.
That's what he looks like.
Yeah.
Keep going. I'm gonna bring up another picture.
And so but that's even what Aquaman did.
He
He didn't
kind of brought him, and he was kind of like, yeah, cool, awesome.
Yeah, and I
it
don't
was
think
fun.
in the Snyder Cut, probably, we're going to see he wasn't like that at all. I think that's all added. That seems like a very Whedon thing to do.
And that's what Cyborg's supposed to look like.
Oh.
Where he's got the plating, he kind of looks not together in his original form, which is fine for the beginning because he was just learning how to use his powers. But when he returns to the team, after he's talked to Wonder Woman and he's back to help them see this through, that's when he should have had his physical appearance be more together in the traditional look. Personally, that's what I felt. Because then it would have been like, oh, here's Cyborg. It's on now, Which it did have that kind of feel to it. Yeah. But personally, I would have liked to see the look.
Like Aquaman
because keeping it for the end, I understand maybe a CGI budget thing came up, but...
I think it was an artistic choice.
Artistic's not the word I would use.
Okay.
Bad.
But back to Aquaman.
Maybe Cyborg.
He
got his iconic suit in his own film.
Yes.
In this film, it's a different costume again.
It was kind of cool.
It was fine.
He got the best intro music.
Yes.
They briefly go down into what is it Atlantis?
Atlantis, yeah.
And you meet a bunch of people we've never met before. You do some things.
Well, if you saw the Aquaman movie,
but they came out after.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. We're introduced.
This movie, they tried to have the Avengers before all the movies. Like they were like, the Avengers is doing kick-ass in theaters. We're gonna try and make some money here.
Yeah.
And we're gonna make the team-up movie, which I know that Will, you'll probably disagree, but I've always felt that the DC characters work better, at least movie-wise or TV show-wise, individually, with occasional team-ups rather than... Because, like, even if you look back to the cartoon shows that we grew up with, the Batman animated series was great, the Superman animated series was pretty good, the Justice League ones were good, but it was kind of hit or miss, and it honestly kind of lost my attention from time to time.
I'll tell you right now, go back and watch the arc with the Justice Lords. Their alternate timeline.
Oh, don't get me wrong, but there are some real gems there.
You were them fighting words. If you want to talk shit on the original Justice League show, them's fighting words.
You're misunderstanding what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying.
Like Alex just said, they're totally different because you have Superman, who's the White Knight, and always just kind of
he's the Boy Scout.
He's the Boy Scout, and then you get Batman, who you could do dark.
It's always raining in Gotham.
Yeah, and that's the thing, especially after the success of the Nolan Batman.
Yeah,
the Dark Knight trilogy,
which changed everything for everybody.
Everybody wanted to make dark and gritty superhero movies, especially with DC, because they were like, "Well, that was a killing, and best, and."
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of influence in that with the marketing department. I'm just sad that the story writers weren't, willing to actually not play into what the marketing wanted as much.
You can't do Superman dark and gritty for a movie. Well, especially starting out this was only the third Superman film. You gotta have.
You should watch that. It's a good show.
I've seen bits. I will say now, traditional Superman with the Justice League being the White Knight, I get that idea, but to say Superman's the White Knight, the Boy Scout, in a league of other superheroes, he is the
High Noon.
He is the White Knight, sure. Sure. That being said, there are grittier sides to Batman. The whole Justice Lords timeline, like you were saying with that old show, is literally in a universe where Lex Luthor becomes president and the Flash dies. So to stop Lex Luthor, Superman kills him and usurps the government. And they become lords of the area, forcing their decree of peace and justice upon the world. Rather than giving them the option of trying to help, they just make them do it. And that was the whole, will it tip too far? Which is great because this world, Lex Luthor, the world with the actual Justice League, was trying to run for president. Oh, please, do your fucking hand thing when you talk about this fucking Spider-Verse.
Lex Luthor was weird.
I don't like the actor they used to represent Lex Luthor.
Oh yeah, it's terrible.
Get me somebody.
It is the worst version.
Get me somebody that looks like. Even give me a dude that looks like Stabler off Law and Order.
Well,
Give me a bulky fucking dude. So many times you see Lex Luthor proud about the strength of humanity, like the power of the human spirit, the ingenuity. We beat the alien. We don't need them. And then you get this, fuck that guy. I hate that actor.
He's wimpy in it.
I don't like that actor.
He's wimpy, he's pathetic.
He's like a fucking noodle. He's like a rat.
And maybe that was the point, like, I can be better than everybody. And it's like, well, it's just
Lex Luthor was Batman, but just evil, basically. He had all the gadgets, he had all the abilities, he was super smart. That was basically it. He's like Tony Stark.
Who's left?
We've got Wonder Woman we haven't talked about too much.
Wonder Woman, that's it, right?
Gal Gadot's hot.
Yeah.
Drake did that? Alright, so we talked about everybody. Wonder Woman, we talked about...
That's all we can always say. No, she was cool. And her and...
She did have a film before this.
Yes. So we got a lot more story about her, which is why when they brought up that soldier...
We know which I'm sorry, I still don't remember the name of.
She and it's fine, dude.
Chris Pine did a great job in that film, and that's a great character. I honestly just can't remember.
She and Batman had a fun sort of back and forth relationship where every once in a while you did get a little flirty spark in there, which is always fun. And they were like the adopted parents of these misfit superheroes.
Yeah.
Steve Trevor,
there it is.
So back when she was fucking Steve Rogers. But no, I don't know. Half these characters, you can't do dark and gritty in a movie. It works in a cartoon. Dark and gritty. Live action, to start out the character, you can't do it.
I disagree in a lot of different ways.
And this is why it was a Frankenstein of a movie, because it was sewn together, two different visions.
Are constantly dealing with the humanity destroying their environment, so they've got that tension growing, plus the internal strife of their societies, plus the horrible monstrosities of the deep, they keep at bay. Then you got the Amazonians, literally the descendants of the god, forced on an island you can't find because of the threat of humanity and other things lurking outside of that. Then you've got the Flash, who has a time-traveling alternate person who's coming to kill him and destroy every aspect of him throughout history. And Cyborg's just...
The Reverse Flash?
Yes, Reverse Flash.
I don't know anything about any of these people.
He's literally a guy from the future. He learned about it from the Museum of the Flash.
Which all the comments will say, you guys suck, you don't know shit.
Yeah,
I don't.
I'm just being... I'm
all
not,
4 comments.
I was going to say, I don't know a ton about it, but I know enough that these characters...
This one blows up.
Hear me out.
Because it says Justice League.
I know enough that if there was an actual writer who did his work, he could have found better ways to spin these things.
Let me add a caveat to that.
You don't get to add a caveat to my shit.
Well, just hear me out here. You are speaking from the perspective of somebody who knows a lot about the DC universe, knows about these...
A bit. Oh, God help me.
Comparatively to the average person, you know a lot.
Yes.
So you know about all these darker things, these different the alternate universes and stuff like that. When I say that you can't write them as dark and gritty, I'm saying as somebody fresh off the street, only has maybe seen the Batman movies from like the 90s.
I guess in that regard, yeah.
Like Superman, like you got to think people who grew up with the Christopher Reeve Supermans.
Yeah.
They're
they're
happy. They're in color instead of black and white like half these movies basically. Wonder Woman. It was always she's here. She kicks the ass out of or kicks the piss out of some bad guys.
Oh, please,
and she's cool.
Please name a couple. Who's her main villain?
I know, right? That's what I'm saying. You gotta the Flash. The Flash was always he was kind of like the Spider-Man character, like in the cartoons where he was kind of like quippy and he was the fun one, quick with a joke, stuff like that. Yeah. And instead, everybody's just miserable and dark and gritty, and they're coming to terms with their humanity and their duty and stuff. Like, if you're going to do the team-up movie, like, again, I hate comparing the two, but the Avengers movie, yes, they had their moments of dark introspection and all that stuff, but at the same time, it was fun. It was peppy. All the characters, it was, like, they're joking back and forth, and, like, it was fun. It was a fun movie. That is something I will say about the Justice League. It was an okay movie. It was not that fun overall. It was like, the whole time it was like you're watching these Titans wrestle with their inner demons while actually fighting parademons and an old man wearing a Viking helmet.
To add one last thing to that.
And all that's great for a Batman film.
Well, once again...
Yeah, yes.
I will say, saying that the DC movies aren't as fun and lighthearted as the Marvel movies, that really just goes back to the context of the two different franchises and where they convert.
Correct.
People got used to the Marvel formula.
Yes.
And because they didn't get the Marvel formula from a superhero movie, they got upset.
Yes, let me counter that a little bit with, remember in like the Justice League animated series and stuff like that we grew up with? A lot of the fun dialogue from that movie came, well, not a lot of it, but some of
the movie or the TV show?
The TV shows, I'm sorry. The fun dialogue, it was always because you get all these, like, heroes that are, they're, these larger-than-life heroes, and then you got Batman as, like, the emo kid in the corner, and he was always dark and brooding, and that was a fun dynamic that I think this movie missed out on, because you gotta have these characters. There was...
Yeah.
I can word this up perfectly. There was no joy in this film. It was all misery. Like, everybody's miserable the entire time.
But to be fair,
I understand you're dealing with an apocalypse.
We're also dealing with the death of Superman.
Right, but there was no joy in the film.
Well, coming off of the death of Superman,
it's a superhero movie.
I guarantee you that the Snyder Cut won't be any more joyful.
I guarantee
it's going to be even worse, because that's what the style of film he does. The Watchmen, everybody the entire time is depressed. Everybody's going through a hard time. And again, there's the threat of nuclear war. And, but it's not the best movie, but I like it a lot. It works for his style. And, I don't know, I mean, when did, along the lines, everyone decide DC was darker?
Well, that's one thing I wanted to say.
Yeah.
The last thing I wanted to talk about, the animated Justice League show.
Mm-hmm.
In the animated show, you've got the whole cast. In these movies, you can't. You can't get Booster Gold. You can't get Green Lantern. You can't
Martian
get
Manhunter.
Yeah. You can't get Martian Manhunter. You can't get Green Arrow. You can't get Canary. You can't get Canary's training instructor, that world-class boxer who I can't remember. You can't get, dozens and dozens of these characters. And the thing was, the show bounced around these characters.
Yeah, it was always like a team-up of some of them here, some of them there doing different stuff.
Exactly, and you've got chemistry with all of them that worked differently, and it kept it fresh.
None of these characters, aside from Batman and Wonder Woman, had a lot of chemistry.
But that I once again blame mostly on the writing.
On the writing, yes, I agree 100%.
I was going to say,
but the
animated show,
the actors
were fine.
The characters didn't.
The animated show had a cast of 400. This movie, cast of 6. So, so in that defense, of course you're not going to get the bubbly energy you expect. Because you don't have all these.
But that's what we didn't try to infuse into this, was a whole bunch of energy and a bunch of, dumb jokes and stuff.
Well, you can do dark and brooding fun. I mean, again, look at the Dark Knight trilogy. Those movies were fun.
You could do
in a different
dark
way.
And brooding and fun. Yeah, I think it's called The Joker.
Yeah, well, you know what I'm saying though. They were enjoyable, and it kept you riveted to the screen. It was, what's going to happen? Boy, you're enjoying it. It was like Justice League. It was just, for me, it wasn't a fun, and that's.
I don't know. I get what you're saying, but I really feel like there's a bit of bias in this.
Okay.
Because if you look at a Marvel movie,
I'll accept that.
You know they're going to watch it. You know they're going to win. You know they're going to beat the bad guy. And that's the argument you see with this one. It was predictable. You know it was going. It was following all the superhero beats. But they all do. I will say that I do think this movie could have been better. But I do not sell it down the river like everyone else does as the worst film.
Oh, no. The worst film is Batman Superman.
Of the DC
ones. Of the DC films.
Yeah.
Well, as far as I know, I haven't seen Suicide Squad. I heard that was crap.
Suicide Squad, it wasn't crap. It was just
good characters.
Misguided.
Good characters.
Well, the new one, I think. I'm actually excited to see the new one.
I am too.
Good Amanda Waller. They did her really well.
Oh yeah,
she's terrifying.
Yeah.
How she should be. She goes toe to toe Batman.
Yeah.
Face to face. You gotta have a cold. That actress, I don't know her name, but Bravo.
But yeah, it like...
She even did voice acting, I believe, for some of them.
Great, great.
But yeah, it was... That's another example.
I'm looking at
Great characters, great actors, misguided writing.
Which would have been better if it... I think...
If they had gone...
If it was just Snyder's vision and it wasn't... Which is why everybody wanted to see it.
And I think that one of my big disconnects where I'm saying that it wasn't a fun movie, it was because it was jarring. It was like, what is happening with this movie? Everything felt wrong. Like it was... You could definitely tell somebody made their movie and then somebody else came in, took it apart, and put it together how they wanted it.
Understandably, yeah. If I pick up somebody else's movie, it's going to be my movie.
Exactly. Right. I'm not faulting Joss Whedon there. Although...
Viola?
Joss Whedon.
Viola
Davis.
Viola Davis did a phenomenal job.
But yeah, it just was a kind of a hodgepodge.
I think she's in Widows.
She's in stuff.
Widows is a good movie.
Widow?
Widows. They a bunch of women get together and they go rob. It's like a heist movie. Liam Neeson's in it. He plays a scumbag. I don't want to give too much away.
Okay, that's good.
It's a good movie.
Probably a good movie.
Go watch it. Go watch it.
Yeah, it felt like this movie was kind of held together with Elmer's glue and toothpicks.
What it feels like to me is a kid got like a play set and he threw away the instructions because he knew what he was building. And another kid came along halfway through and was expected to build the same thing, but he's got different instructions. So you get this like, it's like if you have a pirate play set and you have to make a medieval castle. Sure, you can get there, but it's going to look a little off.
Like, okay, I understand another director coming in and picking up where Snyder left off. Pick a director that is at least a similar filmmaker.
Well, they wanted to build on... It's like the same thing with the Suicide Squad.
They wanted the Avengers with Batman.
Suicide Squad was supposed to be darker because it was...
They got Joss Whedon.
I think I'm saying his name right.
I still wouldn't say that.
Okay.
So David Ayer, I think I'm saying his name right, who did like End of Watch. He did I don't know, other stuff. He did Fury, I believe. And that was pretty good.
Fury.
So he has that's the Brad Pitt World War II Brad Pitt movie.
All I can think of was the name.
That was pretty good. So he was making his Suicide Squad film with his aesthetic, how he does things. And then they're like, well, no, Suicide Squad has to be goofy and funny because everybody likes Guardians of the Galaxy, which is full of bright neon colors, and it's so pretty. And you'll see the difference when the poster changes from its darker to its brighter. And
now everything's neon and
yeah, everything is now 80s, neon and 80s, and they tried to make it fun. So in the end, now it's ironic that James Gunn is now going to do the next Suicide Squad, which is basically a reboot. It's not a sequel, it's not a prequel, it's just another Suicide Squad movie.
That is the difficulty that the DC films of late has struggled for. Each movie they make, they're trying to make another movie. Maybe with the exception of Wonder Woman and maybe Aquaman. I haven't seen Aquaman yet. But it feels like every movie they're trying to make a different film. Like Man of Steel, they were trying to make the first Superman again, but they were trying to do like a kind of a gritty twist on it. Like, okay, that one worked out all right. But you have like the Suicide Squad. They were trying to make Guardians of the Galaxy with shitty villains. Or with bad people. Not shitty villains or great villains, but with bad people. And they tried to slap that aesthetic on something that already existed. They took the Justice League and they tried to make it into like an Avengers team-up film. I know you don't fully agree with that, but you understand where I'm getting with this.
You see the trend,
yeah,
and you immediately associate it, and there's no reason you shouldn't.
Right.
But the problem is, they did release it at the same time. There clearly was a marketing push to try to combat it, to toe for toe. But when people look at that and they think that they totally are the same, I always feel that people look at the Marvel and then see what the DC did wrong. They don't look at each other both equally.
What? No. I'm not saying that they did the same thing. I'm saying that they tried. They tried to.
I would like the DCU to be good.
But what you said with your comparison with Suicide Squad, you said they tried to do Guardians of the Galaxy, and then they twisted it to look like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right. What I meant was they were trying to take that and market it off the coattails of something that was successful.
I guess.
Same with Justice League. They went, okay, the Marvel movies were very successful.
Well,
so they tried to market it as
in
that.
defense of that, if you're DC and you see superheroes are on the rise, you're gonna
I
understand.
I understand the marketing.
You know what I mean? Like, to a certain degree, you have to get your foot in the door. Even if people are gonna call you a copycat, you gotta go there. You gotta do it.
So basically, we're of I think just different point of view, or different sides of the same coin on that.
I think we're happily different. You know, we're not upset.
It's
all the guys. I know, but what's happening is studio interference constantly.
Studio interference, and it's
ruining
the actual
vision.
That happens all the time.
If DC,
it does happen all the time.
If DC wants to make the Justice League movie, just make the Justice League.
Make a Justice League movie.
You know, don't try and.
I think
that they would have had more success if they had went with their initial. Let's make it cool, because then you get all the people who like Batman and Superman. They're like, sweet, let's get our movie. And instead it was, they tried too hard to make it into something it wasn't. I feel like. I might be totally wrong.
I think we can all agree that they need to make a Martian Manhunter film.
Yes. That would actually be kind of fun.
Why not?
Let's get. How many people genuinely know the origin story and everything that
I don't, but I remember he was a fun-ass character in the cartoon.
That's what everyone says. Martian Manhunter is awesome.
Martian Manhunter is great.
Let's get some more Martian Manhunter.
Well, that's what they need to do. They need to go through the archives. They need to pick out characters that haven't, like, I didn't really know Iron Man before Iron Man came out.
Well, sure.
Go and pick, like, everybody knows Spider-Man, everybody knows Batman, Superman. Go find the obscure people, bring them out, do the solo films, build it up until...
Well,
you gotta establish the characters before you do the team-up film.
You need to establish the universe, too.
In defense of that, Avengers. They're a small collection of Marvel heroes, consisting of about 5 to 7 to 10, depending on any given time.
And they keep getting bigger over time.
Well, they fluctuated in the comics. The Justice League is a league. We're talking 40, 50 people at its coalition.
Right.
So if you say, do the team up, build the team, you're dealing with the people that are going to go, well, where's my character's movie? Where's my character's movie?
Let me put it this way.
Where's the Hawk Girl? Where's
the movies they intended to use? The main core characters. Establish them, especially if you're going to have them in this team-up movie.
Well, sure. Do you think
establish these characters beforehand, because the Justice League
want a Green Lantern in there?
If they had made a... Well,
they did the Ryan Reynolds thing.
They cut the bomb. They cut themselves.
And so they were like, and I think actually, like people are doing side-by-side comparisons. So I've seen a side-by-side comparison of the beginning of the Snyder Cut. So you know in the theatrical cut, we see a lantern come by and you see he makes the hammer and whatever. But in the Snyder Cut, it's just a beam of like green light. So you like completely got rid of that.
Yeah, it's too on the nose.
In this clip, again, I haven't seen the Snyder Cut yet, but I'm just saying
it's too on the nose to make it clearly a lantern.
I feel like that's what they did. They put a lot of on the nose stuff because they were changing a 4-hour cut, assumingly. I don't know. Into like 2 hours.
Yeah, who knows what it was initially.
Or whatever it was, yeah. It may have always been 4 hours.
I mean, a green beam, you're going to know what that is, even if you don't hardly know anything about DC.
Yeah, so
people know about Green Lantern.
You're right. It was on the nose.
It was too. And a lot of things were too on the nose.
What I was trying to say, though, is that...
We're backpedaling some more,
He died.
Backpedaling some
16
more.
minutes. That's
You're
all.
back. But what I was saying is,
16 minutes, that's all?
Left.
Your characters that
From an hour.
Oh, Jesus.
Your characters that you're going to have in the film, establish them in their own films, even if you have a couple that are in the same film. But if you're going to do your big team-up movie, we only got like half a movie. The other half was trying to establish these characters. Like Flash, they spent some time trying to establish Flash as a character.
They did a little bit.
They basically...
His dad's in jail, right?
Yeah. I was like, okay, let's make this awesome team-up movie. Oh shit, we need to tell people who some of these characters are.
Yeah, Wonder Woman is still trying to find her... Or she has. She's like an art gallery person now. Or,
yeah.
Bruce Wayne is...
I get what you're saying, though. About
still
huge,
kind of...
huge team-up.
It's a league.
It's the fallout from Batman Superman for him.
Mm-hmm.
Superman's dead. And...
You can have all your characters brooding.
Where is Aquaman? Is Aquaman in Alaska?
Where's Booster Gold? Where is Booster Gold?
Well, characters
we need Booster Gold.
Well, characters like that, even like Polka Dot Man showing up in Suicide Squad. I guess those are villains.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But that's my point. Like that's why I'm excited for that film. It's a bunch of the weirdos and the oddball people, and they're coming together and they're doing the thing.
Booster Gold's a custodian from the future.
So
Wonderful.
He literally stole a bunch of stuff.
I am
and went
not
to
a
the
comics
past
effort
to try to be a superhero, and he's
I am
bad
not a
at that.
comic book
Booster
expert.
Gold's amazing. Blue Scarab, Booster Gold, not Blue Scarab, Blue Beetle. Booster Gold, him, fucking great. More. So sorry, I just want Booster Gold.
All the thousands of execs that are going to watch our video.
Your best listener.
Well, no, we're not slamming our fists and yelling and screaming. And...
There we go.
I just hope that people are genuinely liking this Snyder cut.
Oh, I hope it does well too.
After all of that,
that's the thing. I don't want.
For me, it's neither here nor there. I didn't ask for it. I don't need it.
I'm only curious.
I'll watch it.
Yeah, I'm only curious in it because it is such a unique.
This has
situation.
never happened
It's
before.
never really happened where you
How
have
many
somebody-
times?
We had a remake, like the movie Reconstructed. Yeah,
Reconstructed.
Yeah, you get the guy
Right.
who initially was making the movie. Somebody else came in and finished it. That happens all the time. But for that guy to then come back and go, well, I still want to make my movie, and you get all the fans who basically cyberbully the execs into letting them do it.
Well, they realized.
Cyberbully. It's how.
I know.
I know. Years ago,
They
they
realized there was. They
It's just
realized
funny.
there was a market. Now, on top of that, look, we get director's cuts all the time.
Right.
Like Ridley Scott has a director's cut of every single movie he's
It's
ever
always
made.
the same guy making it.
But this isn't. Yeah, this isn't a director's cut. This is a director finishing his movie.
This is a separate movie with the same stuff.
Right.
But it is like a separate. It's like its own thing.
It deserves a viewing. It deserves a viewing.
Yeah. So we're gonna take a peek at that, and maybe have a discussion about that too. Because why not?
I'm gonna make you guys watch stuff about Booster Gold.
We don't have. I would actually love. I've never heard of that. I've never heard of it.
Booster Gold's cool.
I would actually love that.
So he's a janitor?
He was in the future, and like he has a little robot with him. I can't remember his name, but he has the dates of all major crimes. So Booster Gold went back to solve the crimes with the advanced technology, and then the best part was he gets an award from the president or the mayor, and he can't decide on what he wants his super name to be. So he just says Booster Gold because he was generating two different names. So they're like, all right, Booster Gold. He's like, we'll go with that.
That's awesome.
It's like at the beginning of the Sam Raimi Spider-Man. He's being introduced. I'm the human spider. You got my name wrong. I'm the human spider. Get out there, you moron. Oh, those were simpler times.
Simpler times.
Simpler
I'm
times.
gonna pull it out of
Skeets. Skeets
I got this for
librarian.
$5.
One of these days we're gonna do something in a room full of stuff that I have. It would just be kilts.
Socks?
This is my other pair of colored socks, and I'll pull them off a shelf.
Insert picture of Brad in kilts.
Oh God!
Here's
no
another
one wants
one.
to
Here's
see
another
that.
one. Cringe. Here's another one. Here's another one. Here's another one.
Oh, let's. Oh, can you have the one where
I think
he's
I've
in the
used them all.
parade?
Yes,
That's right.
we will.
A parade in town.
Please explain
of
to the
just
audience.
Brad.
It's getting good.
Yeah, but to be fair,
wearing kilts. That's not the whole explanation.
give you.
It's comfy to have the salami just laying there on its own.
God. You and your summer sauces. Let's move on.
So, what did you guys think of Justice League?
So overall, I would
If
say
you want to know our opinion of Justice League, hit the rewind button.
So you go first.
let's give our
Will,
Will, it's funny.
2 minutes or whatever. Say what you like, what you didn't like. Just a quick summary. Would you recommend it?
Overall, I think you should watch it, if only to understand what you disagree with or what you liked about it. At the very least, to know what people are talking about when they say this movie is bad or I liked this movie. You have a. It's not a movie that's so bad that you should avoid. So many people act like it is. It's not. It's a solid movie. It just doesn't live up to anything that Marvel produced, so people voted especially poor. And it doesn't play into the serious fans of DC too well, so people have a problem with that. Basically, it didn't do enough on any front. So overall, I give it a 6 out of 10. It's disappointing. You can't say the actors are bad. You can't say that like the actors were great. The special effects were wonderful, except for the mustache, which I didn't notice. I didn't notice it. I'm sorry. I didn't notice the fucking mustache. I never, not once. The slow-mo parts with
it's
the
pretty bad.
Flash were really good.
That was good. It was good.
Underwater stuff with Aquaman looked fine. Steppenwolf, his design was shit, but I mean, he was still had cool fight scenes. I mean, the Superman picking up the building, going past the Flash, and the Flash.
That was funny. There was some decent comedy.
There's decent stuff.
Yeah.
That people overlook because they want. Like, I feel like there's a stigma with the movie.
Okay.
That no matter what we do, what we say,
Right.
it's never going to be washed off. I think even if people love this movie, they're still going to vote it down because of that.
Okay.
Alright, so what do you think, Brad? Would you recommend it?
I would, because it wasn't a bad movie. It was...
Who are you recommending it to, specifically? Just DC fans? Anybody?
That's the tough part.
Is that the question of
I'd,
the day?
I'd recommend it to anybody. It wasn't a bad movie at all. It was I'd even go as far as to say it was an okay to good movie. It wasn't bad at all. I didn't not enjoy it.
That's right.
It just... I had some problems with it, and it was... I don't know, just a little misguided, maybe.
Your thoughts, Alex?
There was a lot of drama involved with it. That's all. And
Yeah.
the cracks showed.
The behind the scenes drama is more fascinating to me than the film itself, and the fact that there is a Snyder cut now, and the fact that all of this is a thing. I still can't believe it
that's the
actually
thing.
happened.
You have to see it before you
So-
see the Snyder cut. You really do.
Yes. So watch the theatrical cut first, and then go and see the Snyder cut, which is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go watch
It's not
it.
a painful movie to sit through.
Right. Now, I don't hate the Justice League movie. I thought it was good. In fact, the biggest compliment it got from me immediately was, well, that was better than Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice.
But that's not high marks.
It's not. That's not high praise, but...
They need your moment of silence where y'all go,
Wah,
wah.
But I thought it was a good movie, but it was definitely, like I've been saying, it's a Frankenstein of a
It had its
movie
problems.
where everything is kind of tied together, and the villain was just terrible.
Yeah.
But we can all agree, at least it's not those B-movie Dracula films.
Oh, the Hammer horror films,
At least the Hammer Horror is fine. Just
Which
not the
we
Dracula
love,
ones.
and which we will do many videos on. We're
Just
going to talk
not-
about Peter
just
Cushing.
not the Frankenstein.
Yeah,
Or
see,
no,
I
I'm
mean,
sorry, not the...
The Frankenstein ones are gold.
They're
the
really
Dracula
good.
ones
They're super
are
good.
boring.
They're super bad.
Christopher Lee
the first
is
one was okay.
awesome. Yes,
The first one was
Christopher
okay.
Lee is awesome in those movies,
But
but the movies just suck around him.
Yeah, like when he's
so-
on screen, you're captivated. When he walks away, seriously, some good stuff in there. The Yeti one, we need to talk about the Yeti one.
Well,
We
anyway,
do our own video for that.
That's really good.
I'll tell you what I
Genuinely enjoyed.
I'm insanely close to Brad at this moment. This is the
What the hell, wait for me?
Frankenstein created woman.
Oh, not that one. Not that one.
And he farted.
Dude,
That
that
was the
movie.
best part. Frankenstein
bring
created
that
woman.
case back.
That's a good movie.
Bring that case back. Bring that case back. I want to show you.
Be careful with it.
That's fine. That's fine. All right. You see how much Peter Cushing is on this cover?
We will.
You see that?
Yeah.
You see how much he's on there? He has as much presence in this movie as the fucking yellow text up there. This dude's not in the film. Like, hardly at all.
He's all over the film.
No, he's not.
You watch a different movie?
No, Peter Cushing is there. It's just like, well, I froze myself. Now I'm back alive. About to do stuff.
Don't
Beep,
give
bop,
it
boop.
away.
And like 80% of the movie, no, fuck it. 80% of the movie is about the girl and like some punks in town.
Spoiler.
Some punks in
When
town.
Frankenstein created woman, he makes a woman.
But then that's it. We were done with fucking Frankenstein. He leaves. He just goes away.
That's what we actually want to talk about. I just thought this was a
No, Dr. Frankenstein.
good episode one discussion.
The fucking bullshit.
So, basically,
Woman!
with quit pulling out movies. So, okay.
Y'all like Ninja Turtles?
Hey, step back. Justice League was a fine movie. It was more like Super Friends than, like, that's more the fun, the woo, we're doing an adventure thing and all that kind of stuff, which is fine, but again, it was fighting against, it was a movie that wouldn't get out of its own way. Because it's like...
That's a great way of putting it.
Well, I mean,
it wouldn't get out of its own way.
Excuse me.
So then you just end up with what we got, which was fine, and quickly forgotten about. So bring on the Snyder Cut, and hopefully it's great. I really do hope... I'm already intrigued.
I will agree. It's a movie that won't get out of its own way because, in a sense, it isn't its own movie. it's 2 movies, like you said.
Yeah.
So that's why
yeah.
it trips itself. If it was one director, I feel like it could have been great. So I hope this.
Well, we're gonna come back and talk about it. Maybe it sucks.
Now, mind you, we were shitting on this movie pretty hard during this, but none of us hated it.
I
I
was
wasn't
defending it. You guys
I don't
are the
think we
haters.
were necessarily shitting on it, were we?
You were.
I was.
Because what happens is you're boiling everything down to just.
Oh,
he walked into a room and they're like, "There's some boxes," and like, because isn't there even a picture on the wall in the bar when he goes when Bruce Wayne goes to Alaska or
It
wherever,
has the boxes.
or wherever the hell
Yeah.
Aquaman is. He in Alaska?
No, he's in like.
Is he in Antarctica?
That's supposed to be like something off the coast of some
Oh,
place like Alaska,
Iceland, or
something
I
like
think it was
that.
Greenland.
I
if I'm not
honestly don't
mistaken.
know.
Greenland, that would make sense.
because there's a lot, and maybe it was Greenland because there's ice. Wasn't there ice?
There was water.
Was there icebergs?
There's lots of water.
There was ice. It was cold and snowy. Yeah,
There was water.
there was.
Yeah, and there's like the
For
boxes.
Aquaman?
Like,
There was water for Aquaman?
Like, oh, there's boxes on the wall. What could that be?
Yeah, there was. To be fair, once again, I don't think that scene was innately bad. I just think it was once again too on the
it
nose.
was just like that was literally.
It was too on the
Hey,
nose.
I heard you talk to fish. Great, you're in. And it's like that was it.
Well, he also.
Well, I'm boiling it down to
Sure, but he has
you
the
know.
part where he, like, Batman told him about him
goes
saving
home,
sailors.
doesn't he?
He's
Yeah,
saving
yeah.
sailors.
Okay.
Remember that? He saves the sailor and his boat
Aquaman,
capsized.
look, and Jason Momoa is Aquaman, and isn't that the only live action adaptation, right?
Mm-hmm.
No. No. I think there was some other ones in the past.
Did
but
he
they
show
weren't-
up in
no.
like I don't know? Let us know in the
The
comments.
cell
below.
phone will tell us
All 5 people.
The internet is
The 2
smart.
people watching this, tell us in the comments.
And one of them's Brad.
One of them's my brother.
I hope.
Thank you to all of our close friends who watch our videos. But no, and you're absolutely right. It is 2 movies.
More or less.
It was a movie.
There's a movie there.
It wasn't a bad movie. Wasn't necessarily a good movie. We have high hopes for the one in the future.
It was a very movie.